The million-dollar question is there a standardized recipe for your home Breville machine? We recently got a question through our Instagram from one of our subscribers. He asks, in the Breville Barista Touch, could you please do what number to put the grind setting on, how long to grind for with each cup size and portafilter, and how long to brew for each? Thanks for the message, Kobe. We're going to try and answer that for you today. Stick around. Hey guys, I'm Jimmy. Welcome back to the Artistic YouTube channel where we guide you through all things coffee. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and the bell icon so don't miss out on future videos. Today I'm here in the Artistic Roastery. We're playing with a Breville, or a Sage you might call it. And this isn't a machine that we generally endorse. We don't even sell them. It's just a machine that we're fully aware that heaps of people have in their homes, and we get so many questions about the best recipe and how to use them to get the best flavor coffee. Now, I'm used to using Lamazocos, I'm used to using commercial machines, and when I get on a home machine, I just have to make some adaptations to make sure that I can expect what I can truly expect out of a machine. You can't expect highest quality, best version of that coffee, but we can do our best and teach us some tricks. Today, I'm gonna use our Champion House Blend here at Artistic, medium roast, really easy to work with, very versatile. I've set up my own little recipe in this particular Breville Touch, and you know, there's a few different variations of these machines, but I've got my settings in there. Right now, I have my grind setting to 6. I've got my grind set to a nominal amount of time because I'm going to teach you how to minimize the variations between your grind so that you're not dictated by having your hopper full and just however much coffee lands in your basket. I've also got my brew time setting to 30 seconds. Now, I'm not even sure that that's the right time because I'm gonna slightly manage that manually. So I've got it set to 30 seconds. That's really the most time I'll do, but I'm gonna weigh my yield. I'm also gonna weigh my dose. I'm gonna bring in some of the commercial things that we teach. And there is some other videos on that. You can go back and you can listen to, see the videos that Luke's talked about time in extractions. That'll be really helpful for you at this stage. I am going to use the single wall basket. I'm not going to use this dual wall. There's a whole nother video that we've got on which basket to choose. We'll put all the links below to relevant videos in the description below. I went through their guide. I checked it out, see how they teach you. They do introduce this razor tool. I'm not going to use that one because it really questions how much dose you've got in your basket. So, and I will spin some milk. So let's get started. Firstly, dose. One variable that I can maintain is my dose. And a little trick that I do with this, so that I'm not filling up my hopper and kind of guessing and whatever time I put in there, I'm actually just going to do a single dose straight in the top, and then I'm going to grind straight into my basket and let all of that grind out. Once I've select Jimmy. So that's going to grind out the full 18 grams that I've weighed in there. Now, I've done some tests and I'm pretty happy that this grinder actually doesn't have a lot of retention. So that was pretty impressive for me. This means that I can weigh in. That's going to give you a bit of spillage there. Not ideal. You can see by the clumping in my grind, I'm quite fine. That grind setting of 6 is quite fine. You're changing your grind settings on the side, but you can actually change even more settings. So change more settings up in the chamber by taking out the burrs. I haven't done that. I'm just going off factory settings. So I've got it set to 6. I've got my 18 grams in there, potentially less because it actually made a bit of a mess. I'm going to use their little tricky tamp here, a little bit of pressure, not too much, little spin off, and we're good to go. So what you are going to need is a decent set of scales because this is really going to dictate your flavor. Now, I will mention that I ran lots of tests. I did so many dose in, dose out, and it pretty well worked out that 18 grams is the most coffee that I can fit in this basket where it's not actually, where I've got enough room for expansion, I'm not underdosing, and that's giving me the optimal amount of coffee in my basket to get a good flavor. Now, I drank every single one of these coffees. Some of them were horrible. Some of them were so hard to drink. I just wanted to know what each flavor was like. So I landed on 18 grams of coffee, gives me a good amount of coffee to work with, and it can handle the pressure, especially once you don't want to just keep going finer and finer. You want to work with your dose as well. So let's get that up there, chuck that in. I'm going to tear off my cup. I'm going to start my brew. Now, my recipe that I came to was actually 20 seconds. So we're heating up, we got a couple of seconds in, we should see that drop. Now I definitely found the best flavor part of this shot was always in the first start of a shot. So when we talk about normal and we talk about a 1-to-2 ratio, I actually found that was somewhat too much coffee in my basket. So I really actually want 30 grams of yield, which means I kind of need to stop that brewing early, and you'll see that roll up to that 30 grams. It took me 25 seconds. So my next adjustment, because I got 25 seconds, the one that I tasted earlier that I was most happy with was more like 20 seconds. I find that whenever I use domestic home machines, I just can't get the same extraction time that I do commercially. I don't have pre-infusion. I don't have good pressure control in my heads. So as you find that I'll tend to run faster shots more than slower ones on the home machines. You'll find that the flavor's better for that. So there we go. We've got a 25-second extraction, 31 grams of coffee. It's actually not bad at all. And I can taste the nuances that I'm used to tasting in Champion, those sweet flavor profiles. There's a good body there. You're trying to get that balance. There's maybe a bit of a high acidity and bitterness there from going what I would say over extracted if my recipe is 20 seconds and I got 25 seconds. So I'm currently on 6. Next one, actually going to speed up that extraction. So I go slightly coarser, just 1 click coarser. I run another shot. I'd keep my 18 grams of coffee into my basket. I'd still weigh my shot out so that I know I can turn that off when I get my 30 grams of yield. And once I know that I've actually achieved that in 20 seconds, I could actually change this setting to be a 20-second brew so that tomorrow I could pretty well chuck that in, do the same thing, hit my brew and walk away, and I'm going to pretty well nail that 30 grams of yield in the cup again. And that's what these machines are good for. They're built for not necessarily consistency, because there is always variations in coffee, but they're built for automation and speed, and they just make your life easier. So if you want to make the best version of coffee, of course, upgrade to an even better home machine, go dual boiler, go into the more nitty gritty, but you'll find that they actually become more manual because you're needing to be more hands-on. And the more you learn about coffee, the more videos of ours you watch, and you see lots of great, you just learn more about coffee, you'll actually find that you want to break outside of the pre-settings and the manual, the way that they come out of the box, and you've got to learn, you've got to play, and you've got to drink it all. So let's also just do some milk. Now, this is one thing that this is totally out of my area, is automation on milk. So I'm going to chuck that in there. I've got enough for my small cup. Hit that button, and this is nice. I just feel like I'm cheating a little bit. It goes against everything I teach and stand for. I did put a thermometer in an early one, and I was pretty impressed that the temperature was good. And this is where, if you're new to the home barista area, this is potentially going to help you make a more consistently well-heated milk and froth. But again, you're not learning that skill as a barista, and if you want to do that as a career or really improve your skills or just show off to your friends, this is not how to do it. So let's have a look. All right, so there is our milk. Of course, we've got to give that a clean, self-purging. To be honest, I'm actually pretty impressed with that milk, I've got to say. I've seen a lot worse on some other machines. I've seen some a lot worse out of baristas. So let's have a look how she pours. Yeah, she's pretty frothy. I did put it on a latte setting. Yep. Helps if you can pour a nice little pattern there. And that is a latte. If I got up in the morning and I got to make a coffee on that, I'd be impressed, but I'm not necessarily going to get that cafe experience that in my flavor that you might be chasing. Because I didn't get that full 1:2 normal ratio, I'm a little bit lighter on. So I would find that you'll really struggle to get a really strong cup of coffee out of a domestic machine because you don't have the dose to play with. Commercially, we're working with 22.5 grams of coffee, remember, so you're missing out a lot of punch and body there. But I'm not here to review the Breville. I'm here to give you some tips on how to make better coffee at home. If you've got any questions about this particular video, or you've got a Breville, or if you've got any tricks that you think are helping you make better coffee, put them in the comments below. We read them all. We like to reply. If you've got anything else, DM us like our other subscriber has, to ask any questions you've got, and you never know, we'll make a future video out of it. Guys, I hope this has helped you make better coffee at home. I'm looking forward to seeing all of your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, because we're always doing new videos all the time, every week, and be sure to like the video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.